How to do it like.
Welcome back, Summons. MBR here. Going to be bringing you another weekly lore update. It's been a little while since my last weekly update, just mainly because there hasn't been too much happening on League of Legends, to be honest, to sort of worthy of talking about. There's been no new champions. The latest champion obviously be released on the Summon field was Azure. Not really that exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next one is, but nothing obviously has been released about that. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the Sion update. I'm sure most of you guys have seen Sion by now. He is a big ass steam train coming at you. He's one scary guy. He sort of makes a noise like Nocturne ults. So during this video, we're going to be looking at him. I'm going to be talking about his moves, the way to sort of build him, and try and get your opinion of what you think about this new rework. On top of that, we're going to be looking at the Season 4 rewards that you get for depending on what league you are in the rank system, along with the new tier they're going to be adding in, and finally we're going to also be looking at the champion skin sale. Also, on another note, thank you for the guys that tuned into my live stream yesterday. It got quite popular for what it was. I'm really happy that you were enjoying it, and after the streaming I ended up playing some duo queue with a friend of mine and I got back into gold, so it's happy days. I'm doing a announcement about that race soon. I'm trying to work on a new project with a couple of friends of mine to do with YouTube, and I'm going to be doing some free RP, free skin giveaways to do with this, but at the moment it's still in kind of early doors, and hopefully when next week or a week after that I'm going to be up and running and I'll be able to release a lot more information about it. It's pretty exciting. But anyway, we're going to continue with the lore update now. So here I have some clips of the new Sion. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to actually have a proper game with him yet. Every game that I have been into yesterday and today since he's been out, everyone has picked Sion, generally interlocking him, don't have a clue how to play him, but like YOLO Sion's OP, so now I'm OP, but every Sion I have actually seen has lost. So every Sion I've gone against has lost their game, generally because they're a bad Sion and they just pick him anyway. So here I have some clips from some bot lane gameplay. The reason I've gone bots is I wanted to show you, just to give you a general idea of him if you haven't seen him yet, and also get your guys' opinions on him, and I'm going to talk about what I think you should scale up, and also what sort of build I think could be best on him, and whether top lane or jungle is the best route to go down. So is Sion best to be in the jungle or the top lane? Well, he's only been out for 2 days now, and I haven't personally played him bar this little bot game I did today. But from what I've seen, he seems to be much better in the jungle than top lane, and it works better with his abilities. The reason for this being is the old Sion before he got reworked used to have an ability where if he activated it, his weapon would glow and he would become stronger. So his weapon would do like an additional 25 attack damage every auto attack once activated, but he did lose health for this. But if he last hit a minion, he would gain HP. So at level 1 he gained about 1 HP, all the way up to about 3 or 3.5 at maximum level. I'm not 100% sure if they nerfed or what, I can't remember what actually it was, but around that you get the general gist of that. So every time he last hit a minion he'd gain HP as long as it's activated, and he would lose a little bit of health from it, but with lifesteal you make up for it and blah blah blah. So now they've kept the same similar idea, but with his shield he used to have before, where it would explode after so much damage, or if your opponent doesn't do enough damage to you, your shield stays there and you can use it to explode. They've kept that here. This time now it does percentage HP depending on your opponent's maximum health, and obviously that increases over level. But this time, instead of having to activate your axe to do this additional damage, it's permanently activated in your W, in the Soul Furnace. So with your shield, the passive of your shield is that Sion permanently gains 2 bonus health whenever he kills a unit, and this has increased to 8 against large units and champion kills and assists. So unlike before where it used to scale up depending on your sort of level or how many points you put into your ability, this time it permanently you gain 2 bonus health for whenever you kill a unit. So if you're in the top lane, basically every minion you kill you'll get 2 HP for that, bar obviously the big caster minion when you get 8. So for being in the jungle, obviously you're going to be constantly killing units getting 2 HP, and for every big camp you kill, whether it be the big rave, the red buff, blue buff, golems, blah blah blah, you're going to be gaining 8 health, so you gain a lot more HP through being in the jungle, and that's generally the idea why you're going to see a lot of people be actually playing him in there instead of in the top lane. So I want to talk about his passive now. Glory in death. He certainly does love death, old son. So basically, when he dies, he's not dead. The one nice thing what happens when you do kill Sion the first time around, you get the kill for that. So it's not like the case of once he comes back from the dead, you have to kill that before you get the kill, which would be pretty sucky because if he ends up killing you, you might not get anything from it, which would be absolutely rubbish. So basically what happens, once you kill Sion, he lies dead for a second and he kind of comes back. He's all big and strong now. He's mad, you've killed him, he's about to come kick your ass. So basically what happens, Sion will restore full health, but basically he starts to drain a percentage of his maximum health per second. Draining faster the longer he is alive. Sion can freely move and attack during this time. He will gain 100% lifesteal, attacking at 1.75 attack speed and dealing 10% of his target's maximum health on hit as physical damage, which is pretty crazy. As you can see against Ziggs, we were able to pick the kill up. Obviously he's only a bot, but from what I've experienced in 5v5 General Summoner's Rift, it can be pretty effective, especially in the team fights, you know, where you're on top of each other and Sion's just coming back and he's just hitting you. Even though he might not get a kill, if he can just put a bit of damage down, I have seen him where he's been able to get a double kill through his passive. It can be quite effective if it's used right and you're not able to escape from him, but if you're able to outrun him, as they say, his HP will eventually drain away, so you don't really want to try and auto attack him down because obviously he's got 100% lifesteal, he's got more attack speed, a bit more damage. He's a scary guy, but if you're able to run away from him, then his passive isn't really going to affect you too much. Like I say, you get the kill in the first place when you kill him the first time, which is really nice. So here's a quick look at Sion in combat. So obviously coming through the backside here so I can make the most use out of my ultimate, as going in the wrong position and hitting a wall and stunning yourself would not be a good thing. The whole enemy team would think I'm a noob and my team would think I'm a noob, so trying to make sure that you're going to be able to get a decent ultimate off is quite important. And you can see there the damage that your Q does, even releasing it early. It doesn't matter so much that I'm not going to get the stun off because I know through I'm going to have enough damage to pick up the kill anyway, and we're able to pick up an easy double kill. Obviously being bots, it's not really that much of a challenge, but it gives you a general idea of how effective Sion can be when he makes those ganks and the distance his ultimate can cover. You can see here already being in my days, going to our tier 2 bot lane turret, about to charge in. Dr. Mundo just kind of cock block me, don't get the double knockup, but Sion's ult looks very sort of similar to Malphite, and I feel with a Sion Malphite combo, or even with a Sion with an Orianna there, would be very effective. So I think if you want to try and itemize or build your team around Sion, my skill set I'd look to take on him would be Q, W, E, then maximum my Q and then maximum my W second. Obviously it's personal preference. From what I see, I think that's the best way to scale him up. You guys may have a different idea. Please let me know if you do. So as a sort of final note, I really liked what they have done to the new Sion. The old Sion certainly needed a remaster in the way he looked, and his abilities were quite sort of outdated. They didn't really work well. Did they used to work well in the first place? Sometimes, I don't know, it depends who you're kind of laning against. I always used to with the old Sion. I could never decide every time I went AD with him, I was like, I just wish I went AP, and for that I never really got on with him too well. But this new Sion looks like an absolute G. Just a general look of him, and if this is how they're going to be updating future characters on League of Legends, then I'm happy to say, you know, I hope that they continue doing what they're doing. He just looks an absolute G. Just his recall alone, you know, I would expect to kind of get a recall like this with a skin. If you compare him to a lot of the older champions, they just have very basic recall, or just a standard recall where they go back to base. The fact that his is kind of animated in that way, you know, with his sort of laugh here, you can see some like little drool comes off his face, which I think is pretty cool, and then it's certainly a promising sign to see what's going to be coming up. And he just looks look how big he is. He looks massive. I'm pretty sure one of the skins I saw him yesterday was actually a lot bigger than this. I'm not sure if that was just me tripping out or if that was actually the fact that the skin made him a lot bigger. So just to close this little part on Sion, I want to talk about his item build. Obviously I haven't had the chance to properly play him in 5v5 yet, only this real bot game, but from what I've seen, I've got a general understanding of how you kind of want to play him and what sort of route you want to build him. I think he's better to go jungle, as I was talking about earlier, because you can maximize your W, getting the most out of that. I think you'll get more stacks for being in W than you would in, say, the top lane, but at the same time I think he could be very effective top lane. It all depends on how you sort of want to play it. Obviously his passive would be pretty useful on top, especially if they have no dash or escape. They're not really going to get away you unless they have their flash up.
So, you have the potential there, and he has some nice kit for laning, but I feel with his ultimate you can make the best use of that in the jungle. But you have to be careful when pressing your ult that you don't do like just run into the wall like that and you stun yourself and then everyone on the enemy team's like, haha, you noob, you noob. I've seen that happen a few times. I saw one Sion run straight through like over here and ran straight into this, and then Ari charmed him and killed him under the turret. It was pretty bad. It was funny to watch. Pretty bad for him. But I want to talk about the item build for any of you guys that are interested. I feel Hydra should be the only real offensive item that you'd want to build onto Sion. It gives you enough lifesteal there. It gives you good you got the little the active for using it. I think that's the only thing I'd really recommend. It's down to you. If you feel you want to go full damage, then go for it. It all depends on who you're laning against, how you're doing in the game, blah blah blah. But I think Hydra's all you need. From there, if you're jungle, I think I'd say jungle. So I'm basing my items around jungle, but bar the fact of going for this ancient golem, which don't go for anything else. Don't go for the Elder Lizard one. You don't want the damage. You want the tankiness. So I'd recommend going for that. Unless you're top lane, that's the only item I wouldn't take from the items I'm gonna say. I recommend a Sunfire. I think would really be nice on Sion. It's actually an essential item here. I think the passive on Sion when he charges in there stuns them. If you can get a good Q off, during that whole time you'd be doing around about 45 magic damage at like late level, which is pretty OP on top of the damage you're doing and your team's doing. Every little bit counts. From there, I'd probably look to go for a Frozen Heart. Would be a pretty nice pickup. Gives you mana. Cooldown 400 let's say 400 armor. That'd be OP. 100 armor obviously reduces the attack speed of nearby enemies, which is really nice. If you're doing so much field at Iceborne, you could go down the Frozen Heart, you could go down the route of getting an Iceborne Gauntlet. You wouldn't proc the pass on it as much, but when you do use it, it would be quite effective, and with your E and auto take, it would pretty much allow you to get your Q off a lot easier. So that's a potential item to go for. I'm losing my base as we speak. Along with that, I feel a Banshee's Veil would be very nice. You'd probably be better than the Spiritual Visage. You wouldn't really benefit from it, or I guess you kind of would a little bit, but the Spiritual Visage you could pick up, but Banshee's Veil would probably be better. And boots wise, I'd probably go for boots of Mercury Treads, but boost of swiftness would be quite useful on Sion. It would allow you to get faster with your ultimate, and be able to maybe get your Q, get in position to do a better Q, because obviously you want to channel that up fully so you can get the stun. But again, it comes down to who you're laning against and whatnot. And I think that pretty much covers the items. The only other item you could look to get is the Randians, but again, it's down to who's on their team and how you're doing. But yeah, that's a general sort of look into Sion. I just wanted to give you a brief little update and let me you guys know what you think of him. I think he looks pretty cool. I really like the artwork on him. I think his new kit's pretty cool. Hopefully I'll be able to get an actual game up him very soon. Before we end the video, I'm actually level 6 because I've just been talking this whole time. Let's see if we can get them. Here we go. Incoming! I love the noise that it makes. We'll see if we should be able to. We're going to die, that's for sure, but what we should be able to do. Oh, we might actually even kill. No, we're not. We'll see how effective our passive can be. Go, Sion! Sion smash! Sion! Come, Sion! Can I actually flash? No, you can't flash. Go, Sion! There you go. So he doesn't really last all that long in his passive form, but he's still effective. But anyway, so there's my little look into Sion. We'll be trying to get up some gameplay when possible. Like I say, everyone is playing him at the moment, so that's the kind of sucky thing. Every game I go into, it's interlock Sion. Oh, there we are.
So Riot have decided to introduce a new tier into the rank system. So previously you would have had Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond and Challenger, which is the top 200 people on that server, whether it be EU West, NA and obviously for the other continents. So the new tier they're adding in is called Master Tier. It's a highly exclusive tier between Diamond 1 and Challenger. So basically what happens is if you're in Diamond 1, you climbed all the way up the ladder from Bronze, you're in a Bronze little scrub, and now you're some Diamond ready to enter into Challenger. Doesn't work like that anymore now. So you get to Diamond 1, you win your promotions, GG to you. So instead of jumping to Challenger, you go into a tier called Master Tier. And basically when you're in this tier, if you have enough points, every 24 hours it gets rotated. So if you have enough points over the threshold, when the clock hits 0 after that 24 hours, you will then move up into Challenger. Likewise, if you're in Challenger and you don't have enough points when that clock hits 0, you will fall down, and then you've got to climb your way back up. So I'm not really too sure what the idea of this is. It's maybe just something that's just so many people they want to be able to. Obviously, the Challenger is only for the top 200, so the Master Tier is something there, and I like the idea that it's rotating every 24 hours, so it's going to keep mixing up, and people are going to have to really step up their mark if they want to stay in that league. Following on from that, we have the ranked tier awards. So I'm sure you guys are aware, generally if you finish in a certain league, you get awards. So previously last season, if you finished gold or higher, you got the Victorious Elite skin. Before that, there was the Jarvan skin, and I can't remember what the other one was off the top of my head. But anyway, so if you finish in bronze this season, you'll get a summoner icon. Basically last season what they did was it was literally just a bronze icon, which you can obviously put in your summoner portrait, which I imagine will be the same again. Silver, you get the summoner icon as well. You get the banner trim, and you also get the loaded stream border. The loaded stream border basically is when you load it into the game, you have a silver sort of border around your character. It's pretty much easy as that. And then if you're in gold or higher, you get a summoner icon. So obviously gold, you get the gold icon for platinum, diamond, challenger, blah blah blah. You get the banner trim again. You also get the loading screen border, like I was on about before, and also on top of that, you get a season icon appears in game invite and friend request notifications. And finally, this time instead of the previous Elite skin we do have the Victorious Morgana skin. So if you're a fan of Morgana and you're not currently in gold, you've probably got about a month or two before the season 5 starts, or season 4 sort of ends, and then they probably roll it out, because I'm not sure if the new map's going to be coming out around that time. They haven't really gave any sort of information about it bar the sort of images they released. But if you're a fan of Morgana, get your sort of game hat on, because if you can get into gold, you get that skin. But if you're in silver or bronze, you don't get anything. Or you get your sort of summoner icons and a banner trim if you're on silver. But if you want that skin, you've got to be in gold or higher. So now's the time to put some effort into getting it. So from there, that's pretty much covers the rewards you're going to be getting for the end of season 4. We're going to look at the champion and skin sales. So starting today for the next 3 days to the 13th of October, you can pick yourself up Panda Annie. It's actually one of my favourite Annie skins. I have, I believe, her Alice in Wonderland one or something like that. I can't remember which one. I have some skin for her, but I think out of all the skins, this is probably my favourite. I just love Tibbers. He's just like all got fireworks and stuff. It looks really cool. 487, originally 975. You can't go wrong, but I'm not really an Annie player, so it's not something that I'm going to pick up, but it's a cool skin. There's also a Lee Sin skin now on sale, originally 750 to 375. Because it was 750, it does mean that the sort of visual effects, as you can kind of see, it's quite a basic skin. It's just sort of an overcoat for Lee Sin. I'm sure there'd be a little bit of difference because it's not the cheapest skin you can get, but it's a pretty cool Lee skin. My kind of favourite ones are either the traditional Lee Sin, I think it's pretty nice. I do quite like Pool Party, even though everyone I've ever seen, most people say to me they don't like it because he looks like an ice cream man. On top of that, we also have the Battle Poppy, originally 520 RP, now 260. Pretty cheap for a skin. Don't play Poppy at all, but you know, again, that's just going to be the simple case of it being a sort of art overwork for that skin. And finally, the champions that we have on sale for the next 3 days, we have Zyra. Really good champion, can be either played support or mid lane. Don't really see her played too much now. I'm not too sure why that is, but she's pretty, you know, I think she's pretty viable. She's really strong, especially in the mid lane with some AP. Gets all her plants in her ultimate, and then it just gets crazy, especially if you catch the whole team in that ult. And then we also have Caitlyn, one of the strongest sort of AD carries about, I would say. Doesn't get used that much in the pro scene. I'm not really too sure why. She has the longest range until Tristana gets to max level. Originally 880 RP, now 440, not bad. And we also have the villain, that is Vigar. Originally 585 RP and now 229. Really good mid laner if you want to get to know someone. Bit squishy, not any escape tools, but as long as you play safe and you got your big stun there and you got your ultimate, which can pretty much one-shot anyone late game, plus he's like Nasa's where you stack up with them. So that basically covers this weekly low update, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. As I said earlier, I will be announcing about the new sort of project I'm working on very soon. I'm just trying to sort out some bits and pieces with it and waiting for people to get back to me. Once they give me the stuff I need, I'm going to be able to get on with it, and I will be doing some free skin giveaways related to the project I'm doing. So keep tuned, take it easy, and have a great day, guys. Peace.